Hello, distinguished participants. My name is Vadim Vyushkov. I represent the Government Technical Service, State Technical Service. What is this institution? I think there is no need to explain what it is. And since CAPIF, this is an international event, I'll briefly describe what we do, what kind of... The State Technical Service is responsible for all the things related to cybersecurity, everything that is done by State Technical Services. This is a state monopoly. These types of activities, well, there are quite many of those. So there is the whole list, a single internet access point for the government services, doing testing of all kinds. Well, basically, there is a long list. For each specific type of activity, we have some good competencies. So should you have any specific questions related to our activity, well, we'll happy respond to these questions. Well, one of the types, the very end, this is organizing and technical support for IXP. IXP organizing and support. And now very briefly about the regulation. Well, there isn't much that speak about the IXP. There is a state monopoly on this. There is an article that intercity and international telecom operators must allow connections, allowing access to their networks to clients in IXP and accept traffic from IXPs in line with the procedures defined by the National Security Committee of Kazakhstan. There is a separate rule. Well, this is one shown below, the orders of the chairman of the National Security Committee of Kazakhstan. So here I'd like to do this explanation. Well, our IXPs, this is not a classical IXP. We are saying that the state monopoly only covers the intercity and international telecom operators. We have these categories of operators who act based on a license, and therefore they are allowed to connect in whatever way they want with the global operators, but inside Kazakhstan, they must exchange traffic exclusively via the government IXPs. For the other operators, the other categories, the law has no mentioning at all, so we have situations when they speak that the state technical service has monopolized these IXPs and is not allowing anyone to do this. This is incorrect. The amendments to the law are being considered. We are working with our telecom regulator and kind of hope that everything that relates to this will be settled in the foreseeable future. Of course, this is that very definition that we have in our telecom law. This definition isn't really concrete. The hardware and software for the throughput of the internet traffic. What is the throughput? You can interpret it in the way you want. Just like I said before, the State Technical Service ensures cybersecurity, enforces cybersecurity, so all of the objectives that IXP is facing, good connection, failure-free operations, so any commercial issues, we do not go into that. If an operator has some specific interests, we have no influence upon that whatsoever. Specifically relates to these objectives, I'd like to say that in our platform in Astana, we have a key root server. So basically, some role in ensuring failure-free operation, we actually do deliver some of it. Speaking about the chronology, we don't have any past experience, like 30 years. The initial IXPs were launched in 2016. For a while, they were the only ones. In 2023, we deployed some of the nodes in the other regions of Kazakhstan. At this point of time, we covered 18 major cities in Kazakhstan. You can see this visually on the map. Apart from international or intercity telecom operators, we have connections with the smaller operators. While the existing interpretation of the law forces intercity or international operators to get connected, but does not prohibit other operators to connect, which in they basically utilize that. Here we can see 30 operators. Right now there is 31. This is a chart, that many of you probably have seen because of the report of the Internet Society. That's where we appear. Thank you very much for mentioning us. Right now, we have got about 350 gigabytes, sorry. Gigabyte, very simple diagram, simple chart shows how our traffic increases. This is the past few years. From 40 gigabytes, we grew up to 350 gigabytes. And now this huge pie diagram that shows that we still, in Almaty, there is still, most of the traffic is at the Almaty node, almost 80% of the whole nation's traffic. This is the data of this year. Moving to the next slide, well, this is almost the same pie chart of the last year, which was somewhat smaller. This year, it's got a little bigger, increased by 100 gigabytes. Continue. Going back, well, this year, we've got bigger nodes, we've got some traffic in places like Shymkent, Pavlodar, Karaganda. So basically, gradually, we are getting more regional traffic or provincial traffic in Kazakhstan. Well, previous charts, you could see that for peering, there is more traffic in Almaty. For the fairness sake or justice sake, well, quality's sake, you can see how the traffic is distributed across different provinces. Almaty accounts for about 29% of traffic, and almost 80% of traffic gets peered in Almaty. Well, in general, the volume of traffic, well, they basically in line with the respective population of these regions. Now, just a few words about some of the existing problems or issues. Wouldn't say these are big problems. Some of the working items, it turns out that some of the operators announce IXP traffic from the international providers, like they said. We believe that our IXP is exclusively Kazakhstan-based traffic, because this is in between our operators, and there shouldn't be any international traffic. Not all of the operators are connected in different provinces. We're working with that, writing letters to the respective authorities, trying to talk to them, but this problem is still out there. Connected operators might have problems when they aren't able to track the channel loads. Well, one more point, maybe this isn't a problem, but the symmetry amongst the nodes. Symmetrical load, the incoming traffic comes via Astana, it leaves via Almaty. As a resolution on this, we suggest we use an MGP community. This is what we would like to do right now. The picture where you saw the max utilization, we're planning to create personal accounts, operators accounts, transfer the main functionality to that operator's account. All of the inquiries will be delivered without entering CAPTCHA. Well, no, many people don't like it. We will try to take account of this. If you have any specific wishes or what needs to be implemented there, please tell us and we'll try to accommodate you. Now, about what we specifically would like to do. This is not the law. This is the orders of the chairman, some of the bylaws. Basically, we will issue technical terms with the connection only for those operators who have autonomous systems, registered autonomous systems, well, in Kazakhstan. We would like to write down some of the provisions that in the event of lack of traffic, we can withdraw these technical terms. Should there be any international traffic identified, we'll have a possibility to limit this traffic in the event of the violations of any rules. Some measures will be taken against the operators to limit their activities. And then the competent authority will write letters, issuing warnings, and so on. What specifically relates to the announcement of cash servers, CDNs, right now this is also a problem. This is a subject of discussion. Well, we can't say this clearly. This is a local traffic, not local traffic, based on the CDNs.
Therefore, there is a situation that requiring the operator to make the announcement, kind of disclose whether that traffic is internal, but we sometimes understand that's international traffic, and however, we do not insist. So the norm of announcing CDN and caches will be of discussion to the operators, will appear eventually. So as for the asymmetry, we plan to make sure that the operators announce the prefixes linked to the regions, so that for the city of Almaty, and we want Almaty and Astana to be excluded from this requirement. The Almaty and Astana will kind of create backing up for each other, but the other traffic, regional traffic, will remain within the regions, within the provinces. Well, this is it from me. Thank you. Should you have any questions, I will, of course, be happy to take them.